Alrighty then. 7.4, adding and subtracting rational expressions. Adding and subtracting rational expressions. This starts getting more difficult than multiplying and dividing. Okay, so if you remember, if we're going to take, basically this is just a fraction. If you're going to add a fraction or subtract fractions, they have to have common denominators. So we'll start with the easy stuff. So do these have common denominators? Yes. The common denominator is sweet. The denominator, since they are the same, they're common. Hey, the denominator will not change. All you have to do to the top is take this minus that. 9 minus 3 is 6. There. Now can we factor the top, factor the bottom, and cancel? Nope. There's your answer. Done. What about this one? We're taking, here's a fraction plus another fraction. Do we have common denominators? Sweet, yes. Very little work. The denominators will not change. In the numerator, in the top, this stuff plus this stuff, 5x. Can we factor anything else out of here and cancel? Nope, that's it, you're done. Sweet. Well, that was easy. Oh, what happens if you need to do something else? What happens when the denominators are not the same? Okay, this is what's going to happen. So we're going to do some other work here first. So first, we're going to find the least common multiple of this stuff. It's another way of saying, if this is in the denominator, we would be finding the least common denominator. But right now, it's the least common multiple. So we're doing this first, and later on, it's going to be, this is in the denominator, that's in the denominator. So keep that in mind. So right now, for just these two things, what's the least common multiple? We have to take this stuff and factor. Can you factor that? No. Can you factor that? No. Can you factor that? No. Can you factor that? Nope. Everything's already factored, so all you got to do, I'm going to take that first thing, that first item, that first character, which is a 3. I'm going to write it down right there. X. Is there an X down here already? Nope. We need that. Next one is a 3. Is there a 3 down here already? Yes. It's already there. You don't need it again. X minus 2. Is there an X minus 2 down here? Nope. So we need an X minus 2. Now, I know it says the least common multiple, but we're looking for the largest exponent for the 3. There's an invisible 3 the first there, invisible 3 the first. The largest exponent is a 1. Largest exponent for x is a 1. Largest exponent, that's a 1. So this one's pretty straightforward. It's just going to be this. Every exponent's a 1. So the least common multiple is 3x times the quantity x minus 2. This is it. You're done. Okay? Least common multiple. Now it starts getting a little more difficult. What if you have this stuff? What's the least common multiple of this stuff? Okay. Well, can you factor this stuff? Yes. Factors of that are 2 and 6. So what we're doing here is we have to factor each polynomial and write them as products of primes. So we got to do that first. Okay. So that's prime, that's not prime. 2 times 3, prime numbers. Sweet. X squared is just, x cannot factor that, it's just x squared. So here we have 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times x squared. This one, first of all, we can factor out, there's a common factor. Factor out an 8, factor out an x, that's it. So 8x times what gives us that? An x. 8x times what gives us that? A minus 2. Okay. So now we factored out common factor. Beautiful. Now, factor each polynomial and write them as products of primes. Can we factor out the, yes, that's the same thing as 2 times 4. That's prime. That's not prime. 2 times 2. So that is 2 to the 3rd power. 2 to the power of 3. That's just an x to the 1st. That's the quantity x minus 2 to the 1st. Okay, so I got that. We got this, comma, and then this. Factored that, factored this. Now, the LCM the least common multiple. The least common multiple is the product of the highest power of each factor that appears in either polynomial. You may want to put that in your notes. You may want to put that in your notes. You may want to put that in your notes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so 2. So they both have a common of a 2. There's a 2 down there. A 3. Is there a 3 down here? No, not a 3. Is there an x? I'm just looking at the bases. I'm not looking at the exponents. An x. Is there an x down here yet? Not yet. Okay. A 2. Is there a 2? Yes, there's already a 2. X. Is there an x down here? Yes. Quantity x minus 2. Is that down here? Not yet. This part right here. Now, I know it says least common multiple, but we're looking for the highest power. Okay. For a 2, which is the highest power? Which one's highest? The 3. So we have a 3 here. A 3. 3, the highest. There's only 3 right there, so it's just a 1. X, which has the highest power? The 2. So you're going to have a 2 there. X minus 2 is just this one. This is your LCM. You just have to simplify it. So this is 8. That's 8 times 3 is 24. That's x squared. And that's x minus 2. And bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. That's it. The least common multiple of this quantity and that quantity is this quantity. Okay? All right, now we get to go into some, what? Some more stuff? What? So can you factor this? This is just like this stuff, it's just getting more challenging, that's all. Can you factor this? Yeah, good thing we know how to factor. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, x and x, 10 times 4. Well, I'll give us that. 1 on 40, 2 and 20, 10 times 4, 8 and 5. This is the X box that I'm doing in my head, just bam, 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 because I've done it so many times. That's a plus, that's a minus. And that gives us this. This times that negative 40. This is, yes, that will give us plus 3x minus 40. Can you factor that? Nope. Okay, you cannot factor that. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, next. So we have, can't factor anything else, so we have an x plus 8. Is there an x plus 5 down here yet? Not yet. X minus 5. Is there an x minus 8 down here? No, no, that's an x plus 8. That's an x minus 8, not the same thing, so we need an x minus 8. Now what's the highest exponent for this? 1, 1, 1. Hey, pfft. This is your answer. Boom, boom, boom. Keep in mind, that's an x plus 8, plus, plus, plus. That's an x minus, minus, minus 8. X minus 8, that's a minus, that's a plus. Two different things. Okay? Flip it over. Whoosh. Boom. Oh, earthquake as it shake, 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 shake. Now, we're going to find the sum or difference. This is an expression. There's no equal sign. If there was an equal sign and something on either side, then it would be called an equation. But since there's not an equation, it's just an expression. Take this junk minus that junk. What? Oh, it's the same thing to get over here. It's just more difficult. More problem solving. Oh. And then you'll see why we all do this stuff later on when we start getting into the modeling stuff. Okay? In the next lesson, 7.5. All right, so we have to start factoring. Can you take this stuff, find the factors of the denominator? Can you factor the bottom? Yes, they have a common factor. Factor out of 2. We can go that. 24. The top is still x plus 2. Can you factor that anymore? Nope. I'm gonna leave some space right there. Minus, we have a On the top we have minus 2x minus 1. In the bottom, can we factor that? Yes, 1, 2, 3, x box. Boom, 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 boom. So the x box, I'm doing this in my head very fast. Ba-boom, ba-boom, 3, 1, 3, 1, minus, minus. So I did the x box in my head, just bam, 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 from experience. So 1, 2, 3 terms, x box, factor it. Okay, can we factor this anymore? No. Can we factor that anymore? No. Okay. What is the least common multiple? This has a 2. This has an x minus 2. Whoops, x minus 2. Is there an x minus 3 here yet? Nope. X minus 3. Is there an x minus 1 there? Oh, what did I do wrong? That's a 1. Shame on me. Bad teacher. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Now that's better. Is there an x minus 1? That should be a 1 from right there. 2 times x minus 1, x minus 3. Yes, there's already an x minus 1. Okay. Largest exponent for 2 is just a 1. Largest exponent for x minus... I see 2 of them here. It doesn't matter. I don't care if I see 2 or 20 or 50,000. The largest exponent is a 1. X minus 3 is just a 1. Okay, keep that in mind. That's a 1. So this is the 1, 1, 1. This is the LCM. Okay, that's your lowest common denominator. Sorry, lowest common multiple. Okay, in this case, since it's a denominator, that least common multiple will become, this is going to become our lowest common denominator. So we need to get this denominator to look like that. We already got 2 there. We have an x minus 1 there. We need an x minus 3. That's why I left that space right there. We need an x minus 3. If I'm going to multiply the bottom by x minus 3, you need to multiply the top by the same thing. Boom. There. That one's done. That denominator looks like this. Lowest common multiple. Okay, this one. Is there an x minus 3? Yeah, I got an x minus 1. Is there a 2? No, we need a 2. Stick a 2 there. Stick a 2 there. There we go. Now these denominators are the exact same thing. So now, the denominator is 2, x minus 1, x minus 3. They both have that same denominator. Okay, I'm just taking that 2, sticking out front. They're the exact same thing. In the top, we have this, so we have to multiply, FOIL the stuff on top. Basically, ba-boom, ba-boom, this times this, x squared, this times this, minus 3x, this times this, plus 2x, this times this, minus 6, minus this entire quantity on the top, so I'm going to have a whoosh. This times this is a negative 4x. This times this is a negative 2. Now, the denominator is not changing. The numerator just got to combine like term where that's going to be a plus 4x. And that times that is going to be a plus 2. So now we combine like terms. Oh, this is getting difficult. Yuck. X squared. Taking care of that. 3x, a 2x, that becomes a minus 1x. Plus that, plus 4x. So this plus 4 is a plus 5x. Okay? So wait, sorry. Minus 1 and 4 is a plus 3x. Plus 3x. This and this is a minus 4. Minus 4. So we got that. We got that. Got everything? Yes. So now we've taken this minus this, gone through this whole mess of the least common multiple, Combining like terms, now we get to here. Are we done? No. We still have to, can we factor, nope. Can we factor that? No. Can we factor that? Nope. Can we factor this? Maybe. 1, 2, 3 terms, X box. Can we factor that? So, boom, 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 boom. X box. X, X. 1 and 3. 1 and 4. 1 and 4. We got a plus. That's a plus. That's a minus. So that one gives x squared 4. So that gives a plus 3. That gives a minus 4. Yes, there we go. That works. Okay. Again, I'm doing this factoring from here to here in the numerator. Bam, 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 bam. Real quick. Just experience. You guys, I don't know if you do it that quick or not, but it just comes with experience. A lot of experience. Now are we done? Nope. Cancel, cancel. Did the exact same thing. Okay, nothing else cancels. All right, so now we have, on the top we have an x plus 4. On the denominator, in the bottom, we have a 2 times a quantity x minus 3. So now we just took this minus this, we simplified it, simplified. Now what are the restrictions? So we have the letter x. X cannot be what values? So here we factored x. So we have to look in the denominator. I don't care what's in the numerator. I don't care if the numerator is 0. That doesn't bother me. It's the denominator I'm looking at. When is that quantity going to be 0? It isn't. It's called a constant. It'll constantly be 2 no matter what happens. When will that constant be 0? When x is 1. So x cannot be a 1. When is that constant going to be 0? This one right here. When is this one? I don't care if you use this one or this one. 3. So when x is a 3, the denominator becomes 0. Undefined. Anything others? No, there you go. This is your answer. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. It's a 4. All right, and last one. I should have done this one earlier because this one's actually easier. That one's tougher. This minus this. We need a common denominator. Oh, we don't have a common denominator. So can we factor this? No. Factor that? No. Factor that? No. Factor that? Nope. So, so we have a 3x plus 4. Leave a space. Minus 1 over x plus 6. We have an x plus 4. X plus 6. There's your LCM. That's your lowest common denominator. Lowest common multiple, lowest common denominator. So we have to get this denominator to look like that. We already have an x plus 4. We need an x plus 6. X plus 6. Here's where that space comes in. Whatever you do in the bottom, you do the same thing on the top. Has to be the exact same thing on top and bottom. This divided by this is 1. 1 times that does not change its value. It's going to look different when you take this chunk. I can multiply top and bottom by 50,000. I could multiply the top by 12.5 and multiply the bottom by 12.5. I could. I'm not, because that would be a waste of time. I want to have a common denominator, so I want this denominator to look like that. How do I do that? I need an x plus 4. X plus 4. X plus, should have been this color. So, should have been the same color. There. X plus 4 divided by x plus 4 is still 1, but we now have a common denominator. Okay. Now, our common denominator is x plus 4 and an x plus 6. So on the top over here, what do we get? In the numerator, this times this is 3x. This times this is 3x. This times this is 18. Okay. We have, that's all for that. And we have a minus. This times this is x. This times this is 4, positive 4. Keep in mind that's minus all that junk. So we have to do this. So we have a 3x plus 18. That's a minus x. That's a minus 4. I'm just taking more space here because I made an ugly mess right up here. X plus 6. You guys are probably not going to do all these steps that I do. You're probably going to do something ugly like this. But now, the denominator cannot change that. X plus 4. X plus 6. In the numerator, this and this combine to make a 2x. This and this combine to make a plus 14. There we go. And we're done. No, we're not done. Can you factor that? No. Can you factor that? No. Can you factor the top? Yes. Oh, God. It's never ending. Common factor is a 2. X plus 4. X plus 6. Can you factor anything else? No. Finally. Dun, 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 dun. And now what are the restrictions? The letter is x. X cannot be. What value of x makes this quantity go to 0? Negative 4. If x is negative 4, the denominator is 0, undefined, it won't work. What about this one? What value of x makes this quantity become negative 6? Is there anything else? Nope. So, smallest number first. Negative 6. Got negative 4. So here's our answer. Right there. There's the answer right there. This, when you take this minus this, that's your answer, and these are the restrictions. Boom! Done! Finally.